Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to have you here again. Of course, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate your support. It's what enables me to keep making more videos. Well, as you know, I love new EVs. I love finding out about new EVs. And I love when I hear that there's a new competitor to the Tesla Model Y. That new competitor is called the Geely Geometry C Subcompact. Bit of a mouthful. So let's just go with the Geely C. That'll do, hey? Geely has released the second vehicle under its Geely Geometry sub-brand, named the Geometry C. This electric subcompact crossover is priced from 130,000 RMB up to 182,800 RMB, depending on the model, of course, which is around about 20,000 US dollars up to a total of 28,000 US dollars. This doesn't include subsidies though. So you get one of these a bit cheaper than that in China. And if they go outside of China, well, it depends on what country you're in or what subsidies you can get. However, if you live in New Zealand, you can get a subsidy of $8,500 for an EV. Seems awfully compelling to me. Based on the Geely M Grand GS, but significantly modified because that's a petrol ICE vehicle, the Geometry C is aiming to appeal to young families, first-time car buyers, and obviously people that can afford a car like this in China. Now, visually, the Geometry C retains proportions that are kind of similar to the N Grand. Well, very similar really, aside from a few little changes. And that's the vehicle upon which it is based, of course. Now, blanked out intakes and narrowed headlights give the vehicle a more modern look compared to its gas-guzzling, ICE, polluting sibling. Now, the car has redesigned door panels with body lines extending from the headlights, giving the vehicle a more modernized feel and trying to make it look a little bit like the Tesla Model Y, I think personally. One of the ways they've done this is by having Tesla-inspired pop-out door handles that can improve aerodynamics. It actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it in that way. Personally, I'm a big fan of the gunmetal alloy rims. I definitely prefer those over the standard aluminium look. So it's a similar story at the rear of the vehicle where the proportions are similar to the N Grand, but the design has been significantly updated. The tinted rear light assembly and the geometry badging across the back are fairly contemporary design cues. I really like the back of it. I don't so much like the front. The side view, the overhangs just don't quite look right to me. Tell me in the description, guys, what you think of the style. I think it's a little bit polarizing. One of the reasons for that, the main reason I believe, is they're using an ICE vehicle and changing that into a battery-powered vehicle. Obviously, it has the long bonnet that you need for a car with an engine, right? And the long overhangs, which you just don't need for an electric-powered vehicle. So this, to me, gives it that weird look with the long bonnet, the long overhangs, and then you look at it and think that must be a petrol-powered car, but it's not. It's electric. Now, aside from the lack of having an exhaust pipe, the low-slung battery is an obvious clue that the Geometry C is an EV conversion from an ICE vehicle. Now, although of course Geely has made some protection for the pack underneath the body, the lower clearance shows to me that the vehicle is not a ground-up ICE, not a ground-up electric vehicle design, and that is one of the compromises that you have with a vehicle like this. You can also see there's a big transmission tunnel inside the car, and obviously it doesn't have a transmission. So that's one of the carryover things that you have when you make compromises like this. Now, that said, I really like the interior, and Chinese cars have come a long, long way with design. Specifically for interior design, some of their interiors are absolutely fantastic. You can see here in the images that the Geometry C's interior is clean and modern, and it's got an overall geometric theme, which is kind of interesting and different. I like it. Now, the previous Geometry's interior featured capacitive buttons to control various vehicle functions, which was a really nice aesthetic design touch, but apparently it wasn't very user-friendly. So some physical buttons have come back to the car to make it more user-friendly, where hopefully form should follow function. What about motor power, electric motor power? What does it come with? Well, it comes with either it comes with a 150 kilowatt, 310 Newton meter motor powering the front axle only. That's the only option. You don't have an all-wheel drive option, just the front. But that's a fair bit of power. That's definitely enough for this size vehicle. And you could go pretty quick with this kind of power. Battery packs. Comes with two different versions. The smaller pack is 53 kilowatt hour pack. And the bigger pack is a 70 kilowatt hour pack. The smaller pack's good for around about a 400 kilometer range, and the bigger one for 550. But in real world, you're looking at probably 300 kilometers of range for the smaller pack, and probably around about 450 kilometers of range for the bigger pack. Now, although this car is an obvious compromise because it's based on the ICE version, I'm still excited every time I see a new electric vehicle come out. The more EVs that come out, even if they're based on ICE platforms, the better. The better it is for wherever they're made, and in this case, in China. And hopefully this vehicle is sold outside of China as well. If you could buy one of these cars for $20,000 US, would you? I think a lot of people would consider one of these for $20,000 US. I even personally would, even in spite of those compromises. At that price, it's definitely still worth considering. Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.